All right, welcome to the Secretary Treasurer online webinar. I'm with you today, Frank Ruiz, part of BNI Connect website support, and also a director here with BNI Central Valley as a director, and also helping with all kinds of online stuff. And with me today is the effervescent and lovely Vicki Dills, and she will be actually our presenter, and she's the regional administrative person for this whole region. She takes care of inputting all the new applications, as well as handling all the renewals, and she works closely with all the secretary treasurers to get that all taken care of. And so, with all that, I think I will go ahead and turn it over to Vicki. So, Vicki, go ahead and tell us what we're going to do.
Good morning. It's good to be with you. I look forward to our trainings to get to know you and for you to get to know me. I look forward to the year that we're going to work together. I want to start off with something I just learned this week, and hopefully it will be helpful for you and your members. And it has to do with renewing online. I talked to Jeremy, who is the Back East coordinator, and he explained to me that when a member joins online and they do not put in their payment as they finish the application, for an example, if they want to use their credit card, and let's say they skip over that, if they're approved and they haven't filled that out, they will get a notice that says payment due. If they go to their main home page, as you can see mine, now I don't have to pay a renewal because I'm not I'm an admin, but underneath here where it says update profile, there will be a icon or a statement that says pay now. So they can go back in and make the payment if they want to use their credit card versus a check or anything like that. It's very helpful to know that because a lot of times they have thought that they have to do something separate, and they don't. They can just go right in there and handle the problem. And then once that's done, I can reconcile it. I cannot reconcile it if the payment is not there. And usually I will let you know. Certainly I let the Vice President know that the payment is due. So do you have any questions on that particular situation? Okay. Let's start where, if you have your manuals, that's great. In the middle of the manual is your Secretary BNI Quick Start Guide, and that's where we're going to work today. We're going to start with MSP because that's kind of where you need to begin as far as speaker and all, and putting them on the calendar. So what you would do is you would go to reports and your chapter. And today I'm going to use Tracy Business Partner, so let me go here. There it is. And you are going to go to member training report, and let's say you want to know who in your chapter has ever attended MSP. So you start with the above date, and you can go down to let's go to January, and let's go to 2005. Okay, first, because they only have to attend MSP once in order to qualify for the speaking, to be a speaker, okay? You see where I have events typed there? You're going to go to Member Success Program. So it will start up here as all, and if you choose that, it'll show every single program they've ever attended. But anyway, you're going to drop down to MSP, which is Member Success Program, okay? And you'll click on that, and then you will go. And this will show you all of your chapter members that have ever attended an MSP program. And that's pretty that's pretty explicit. So you know you're safe to put them on. So then you close out of that. But let's say now this one is unusual, but you can go to find out who has not attended. And let's go from January. We're going to go to the 2015. We'll go the 1st through now, and you'll go to Go. And this will show you those members who have joined from January the 1st. They also have well, looks like Marabella's never attended one, but you will see people who have not attended, and you need to invite them to attend an MSP program, okay, in order to be on the speaker list. All right, any questions about that? Okay. The next thing we're going to do is so now you know that they qualify to be on the speaker rotation list. Now I'm sure that y'all have done this and it's easy peasy for you, but it's really nice to just kind of do a review for all of us. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to go to the speaker rotation. And the way you do that is you go operations and you go to your chapter. And you go to meeting management. And then you do the view speakers. Okay. Now you're going to assign, let's assign the 28th of October. Okay. And that should use speakers who you're going to use. Oh, assign speakers, I'm sorry. Assign speaker. You go to the 28th. Looks like Joy is already on there, but we're going to go ahead and just see. And we'll use Carol Hall. And then you do some kind of wonderful thing about her, whatever her topic is, so that if anybody else is looking for something or want to have information on a certain category or job information or description of what they're doing, you can go here. So if you say home care senior citizens, making the tender touch, and I'm just putting that in there. Okay, so if somebody wants to know how to take care of a senior citizen, whether it's their own personal life experience or whether it's a job care situation, once you hit submit, that will go on for all of the region to see. And so it's important that you put some kind of a topic in there. I'm not going to put her in because I just made that all up. But you'll see here that October the 28th has been filled with Joy, and her title is Grow Our Chapter. So that's and then when you finish all that, you hit submit, and this takes you back to the screen. If you want to see who is speaking and you've forgotten how you've signed them, you go here to the enter from date, and let's go back to September, and let's go the 2nd and view the speakers. This will tell you, remind you who, obviously they didn't put it in before that, but this will remind you who has had the opportunity to speak. And I'm sure that y'all have that written down, but this is just a nice way to kind of review and an easy way to review your information on that. Whenever you finish anything, be sure to submit it, because if you don't, you've lost the program and you have to redo it. And so and in your quick start guide, it is outlined 1, 2, 3 all the way through 9, the steps you take, so it should be pretty easy for you. Do you have any questions on the speaker rotation? You do remember that you do it 6 weeks out so that you can fit in a director to come and talk to you. You also remember that if a member decides they can't speak, it's up to them to make the replacement speaker. Okay, it is not your responsibility. However, if the night before they've been really sick, throwing up all night, and they call you, you, the president and the vice president, have to be ready to step up and fill that position. You also need to remind them that when they come to speak, that they need to have a gift so that it could be passed out to the members who have brought a visitor that day or who have given referrals. And if they don't have one, what I have learned from other chapters, and I think it's very wise, is that you have gift cards available so that they can purchase those gift cards, and that way nobody goes away without their gift for that day. And the nice thing about that is if they forgot it when they were going to speak, sometimes we forget it when they say, okay, I'll bring it next week. And you don't want to leave that space. We're all busy, and I realize that, and so sometimes things just kind of slip through unintentional. So it's nice if you have a backup.
Oh, hey, Vicki,
Also,
just a quick
yes.
side note on that. I've talked to several chapters that have done this. When they have the backups gift cards as a speaker gift, and then and they use that. Oftentimes, what they'll do is it'll be a $20 card, but they'll charge $25 to the member, sort of like a $5 oops fee for not bringing your own gift. Because you don't want to be, as a secretary treasurer, you want to be responsible every week for bringing the gift. You want to have the gift cards handy, 3 or 4 of them ready, so in the event something like this happens, you're covered. But I would charge a little extra, that way it reminds them that they need to take care of this themselves. Kind of, small penalty for forgetting, but nothing that's, if you know what I mean. Just a side note.
Thanks, Frank. I didn't know that. That's a good idea, though. The other thing is, remember that it's the speaker that only gets to display their information to the members. And it can be put on the table in front of them, however your particular chapter does that. There can be a members table set off to the side where all of your members can display their brochures or cards or whatever they would like to display. But for the main part of the meeting, it is only the speaker that gets to display their information. Okay? Are there any questions on this particular project?
Easy group. Easy group.
Yeah. Well, you really can't go wrong if you use the MSP because it's just so simple. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the membership dues report. I get a lot of emails asking me when Jane Doe is up for renewal. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to your reports. You go to your chapter. Okay. And again, I'm using Tracy Business Partners. Okay, then you are going to go to Membership Dues Report. And they have a date here, just use that and click Go. Now you see all of your chapter members are listed there, including you, and it will show that Term Plus means that while you're serving, BNI is covering your membership, but when you step down, you have 2 months that you had before you became the president, the vice president, or the secretary, however it is there. And when you step down, those months are activated for you to for your time on file. So while you serve, BNI covers your membership. When you step down, whatever time you have on file is then activated. Okay, you'll see here that Rose is due November 1st. You should have already received those renewals. They would have been sent out in August. Yeah, you should have gotten them in August. I'm now doing something a little different. I'm sending them to you in increments of 2, so it'll be January, February, so that you don't receive 12 emails from me a year, but you get 6. And you'll see here that she has January and February, so those have already been sent out. This is a reminder that's at the bottom of the page, and it will say that it's a reminder, and if they're late or expired. Now what I have done this time, and I don't usually do this, but I've entered expired members from September so that you're aware if for some reason your member did not get their application, that they have expired, and we need to work on that as quickly as possible. But this gives you information as to when your members are actually due. And it eliminates a lot of saving time for you trying to get a hold of me for me to send it to you. You actually have access for that, okay? So we will close out of that. Now the next one I want to show you is the bio information. And that is done, you go through reports and chapter. We're already in reports, so you go to reports, chapter, okay? Then the next thing you do is you're going to go to membership detail, which is down a little bit. And you see view member bio. And I'm going to use Carol Hall because she's put hers in pretty well. Okay. And then you click, see member name, you drop that down. You click on Carol Hall, or whichever one is speaking you want to review, and you go. Now Carol has filled this out, and I thought this was really fun, and it's something that you could tell about her if to show that you know her on a little more friend level instead of just reading it. For an example, never do this. When I was in kindergarten, my mother would put my milk money in an envelope. What that says is that you know nothing about her if you have to read it like that. But if you say something such as, when Carol was in school, her mother used to put her milk money in an envelope, and she wrote on there Carol's Milk Money. And so for that year, Carol thought her last name was Milk Money. So she introduced herself as Carol Milk Money. So you're talking as though you know her. My recommendation is that you have them fill out that bio sheet, and you all should have one. But if you don't, you can go on to BNI Central Valley under the leadership team, and you can get it there. And the nice thing about those is you can have them fill it out, and every 6 months or so you can change it out, because it's really difficult if, for an example, and I've seen some on here, but Carol doesn't have that, but if Carol has on there that her favorite animal is her dog Fluffy, and Fluffy has died 6 months before, or 4 months ago, and you say, oh, and Carol loves her dog Fluffy, and so forth, that says you don't know her. So what you need to do is make sure you keep those files updated, and the only way you can do that is with a bio sheet, because they don't always want to come on BNI Connect. Now that's another thing that you need to really encourage. As I went through this this program and I looked at some of the individuals, there's nothing on there, and so it leaves them open, one, to not have, if they don't have information on them, for people to really know about them, but also make sure they fill out their job description. When you work with your members, they need to know how valuable BNI Connect is, because when they enter their job description, anybody worldwide can type in cleaning woman, for an example, and every single cleaning woman in the United States can come up. Or in your region you can do that. It makes it more personal in who you can reach. But you can't do that if she doesn't have anything there. So let's say she's her responsibility is cleaning woman. Have her write clean residential homes. So you've got cleaning there. You've got residential homes. I'm able to, and then list the different things she does, so that when somebody is looking for floors, for an example, even though they're not looking for flooring, but just writes the word floors, she will come up if she puts as much description as she can about her particular category. And it's really helpful to increase her job flow. So I would really recommend that. Okay. Then the nice thing about this is if you want to use this particular form instead of the hard copy of the bio, you just do export. And I'm going to show you that. All right, and it says to Microsoft, and you go there, and it's going to tell me that it has, yes. And see, and then you can print it. Everything is right there for you. So that makes it really easy. So let's go back here.
Quick thing, the reason why you probably want to do an export rather than just straight print is because oftentimes BNI Connect will print it, but it will print it so small that if you don't have, reading glasses, if you're like me and are half blind and need to have reading glasses, now you really need to have a way to zoom. But if you export it to Excel, for example, then you can control how big it prints on the page and be able to make it more easier to read and more easier to use. So that's the big difference between, for example, export and print. All right. You're doing great, Vicki. Keep up the great work.
That's nice to have a cheerleader in my corner. Okay. Now we've talked about the main areas that you that you are going to work in, but I want to show you something that you actually have access to. I'm going to do chapters, and I'm going to do, oops, now I'm going to do region and configure roles and chapter configure roles. That you can't do this part of it, but I want to show you what you have access to here, and it's open. Okay, come on. Okay, we're going to go down to Secretary Treasurer. Okay, you see where all these allowed are? They're allowing you, which you should not be. They've put on there, and I'm going to take that off because you're not allowed to approve renewals. So I'm going to remove that. Oops, let me take that. I just sent BNI headquarters a request to put that at the top. Okay, so that's the vice president or membership committee. All right, you can do chapter websites. You can my secretary. Wow, you cannot decline, but you can edit the mentor. Now, Frank, when they do that, if the mentor is there, why would they be able to do that? I didn't understand that when I saw it before.
The mentor program, we really haven't adopted that in this region, but there are some regions out there that do. And the mentor program, what it is BNI Connect gives the ability to have mentors and mentees, and you can actually assign them. And so the option there where you see edit mentor mentee, that just means you have the ability to actually assign mentors and mentees. And it's like a 6-week program, and what you do is you assign, for example, let's just say Joe Smith for the mentor, and then we got Pamela Jones is joining, and she's the mentee. You can assign them, and then what happens every week, the system sends both of them an email with like a list of things to do, and then the mentor gets the same email as the mentee, and then they both get together once a week and go through that email, read it, and then do the steps that are in there, and it's all geared toward helping the seasoned member help the new member learn more. And so that's what the mentor program is. And then where you see the edit mentee is just saying that the secretary treasurer has that access to be able to do that. But there's a whole manual and a training process to go through. So that's why it's not we just haven't adopted it yet in this region.
Okay. You can also see that you have access to email your chapter, your visitors, email visitor invitations, and you can enter your chapter goals. Manage register visitors. Now your visitor host usually does that, but let's say they're gone and for an illness or they're on vacation or something, you have access to do that. I see that they've kind of, when I was in here yesterday, I changed it all, and why they didn't allow it to stay that way, I don't know. Oh, you have the opportunity to review the absent report, the chapter roster, the traffic lights, all of these things that you see checked here. I'm thinking of copying those and sending those to you so that you actually realize what you can access. We talked about the member training with MSP. You can also, in that training, you can click all. When I showed you the MSP training, and every single training that your chapter members have been to, you will get a review of that. So you can review the attendance, PALMS attendance, all of these things that are listed here, member details. So that's really helpful. And my suggestion to you, view, edit visitors, my suggestion to you is that you review and play around with Connect to find out the different areas that you can be, you have access to. And one of the things I thought about yesterday when I looked at all of this again, member details, okay, you have, for an example, which we talked about, your bio, but view member tops, games like that. Let's go there and see what they're telling us. Okay, go, Alicia. she doesn't fill it in, so you don't know what that is. So you need her. Again, I encourage you to have your members fill out their information, and it's really easy peasy once they get in. If they have trouble logging in for whatever reason, let's say that I sent them a registration letter, or they've been there for a long time and they haven't gotten in, we work through Frank usually to get them back in if it's been a lengthy period of time. And he's very good at that. Or I can work with Back East, either way, and they will open it up so that the member can then get on. But usually it's Frank, isn't that right?
That would be correct. I oftentimes get the emails or the phone calls, hey, I can't get into Connect, and so I'll reset their passwords and stuff like that, which is not a problem. We have the super web support access so that we can make minor changes like that with no difficulty.
Yeah.
So if you have any members that can't get in or don't know how to get in, we can get them set up properly.
Okay. And so here's opportunities for them to put their information up there so that the whole, so that they're displayed. And as you can see, I used for my, what is that, not thought, but anyway, it's choices, not chance. What is that called? I just went blank. It's choices, not chances that determine our destiny is my theme. And that's a good reminder for me when I go back in. And it's a good reminder for them. It's a good reminder for you. The biggest problem that we have, I would say, and I receive information or emails from the members are, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to log on. I don't know how to make changes. I don't know how. And they have access to do some of those things, and that is in your manual, as well as that they can change their address, their phone numbers, and their emails by themselves. I get a lot of requests for those. They cannot change their company names. They cannot change their name, and so forth. So give them updates on that. My suggestion is that you have one of the directors, and you may have already done that, and that's fantastic if you have, but one of the directors to come in and walk them through so that it's easy for them to see what they need to do. But basically, secretaries, if you are going to get help, you need them to be the ones that gives you the information that you're going to need, because you cannot do it without their assistance. It requires a lot on your part. Otherwise, that pretty much covers your quick start guide. Again, the renewals are going out. Excuse me. I have all of Central Valley out. I'm halfway through Sacramento. You should be receiving those today. And I have reminders. Please review those reminders. It is so important. And if you're struggling, if there's been some kind of error as far as when you transfer your from one secretary to another and things have kind of got lost in the process of all of that, I do understand that. Please call me or email me, and we will work together to get things straightened out. Okay, are there any questions?
Nope, you're as clear as mud, apparently. Yeah, just a quick reminder to everybody, Vicki has been with the Central Valley for a very long time, and she is very well versed on how the system operates from the back end and from the Secretary Treasurer's position from regional admin. In fact, she helps train other regional admins in other regions. So she's a very great resource that we oftentimes share. So if you have questions or an issue that pops up and you're not sure what to do, especially you Secretary Treasurers, definitely call Vicki, and you can call her at the BNI Central Valley number 489-9302. That's the 916 area code, 489-9302. She's happy to help, and of course her email, vicki@bnicv.com. She's happy to help any way she can to make what you need to get done done. So that's just an important thing to keep in mind. She's your resource. That's one of Vicki's biggest jobs, is helping the Secretary Treasurers so that they can accomplish the jobs and missions you guys have. So I think that's it. Anything else you need to throw in there, Vicki?
No, I look forward to working with you. Please don't hesitate to call me. That's what I'm here for. You can call me up to 8 o'clock at night. Please don't call after that time. But I realize that you all work and sometimes you have to do these things in the evening. So you can either email me or you can call me. Email me anytime because I'm usually in and out of the office up until the other night I worked until 1:30. So I can get back to you. So I'm here. Please don't hesitate to get a hold of me. I so enjoy working with you. So I hope you all have a great day and a wonderful fall season. Let's pray for the rain.